I'm Jane Applegath. This is the Epic Vision Zone. What if you learned the secret to living the American dream? And what if stepping into an unknown future in a foreign country became your greatest life story? Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." In her 20s, Sairan Aqrawi was forced to leave her home and family with a dream and the weight of survival on her back. Crossing borders and cultures, her journey took her from war torn Iraq to the United States. This wasn't just a relocation, it was a rebirth, she says. What she carried with her wasn't just resilience, it was a relentless belief that reinvention is always possible no matter where you begin. Today, she is a force of reinvention as an engineer, business strategist, author, and a leadership mentor. Saran helps professionals, especially women, turn their life's hardest pivots into their most powerful comebacks. She empowers her clients to ditch self doubt, claim their voice, lead with impact, and rise into their greatest potential. Her clients don't just pivot, they upgrade, trading self doubt for clarity, burnout to boldness, and hesitation to high potential impact. Whether you're navigating change or chasing your big next chapter, Seiran equips you with purpose, influence, undeniable presence, and a blueprint for your next evolution. Welcome, Seiran. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you, Jane, for having me. It's a pleasure.
Well, I'm so excited to get started. Your journey is just absolutely amazing, something out of a storybook or a movie, as I would see it. And give us an idea now. You left your war torn homeland and rebuilt your life in the United States. What part of that journey most shaped who you are as a leader today?
Thank you for the question. Yes, leaving north of Iraq, for me, it wasn't just escaping the war zone. It was choosing the life that I always lived, and dream about. I felt the moment when I landed to U.S. soil that this is not starting over, that I'm not starting from scratch, that actually I'm rewriting my story from experience and all the hardship that I've been through in north of Iraq. And that hardship actually taught me to lead with empathy, clarity, and courage. The
Mm.
decision I make to come to United States was not easy because basically I embraced the unknown. I didn't know what I'm going or what I'm going to do. I was in my 20s. Although I graduated from civil engineering, but I just worked for a couple of years. I didn't have that many years of skills as an engineer. And plus, I am heading to a different culture. Yes, I know the language with a bit accent back then. I speak better now, being here for 29 years. But also just landing on places that you don't know much about the culture and the challenges and the obstacle, the stereotype, if people will accept the way you are, how you're going to blend in into that culture, and how to make your dreams come true. So the hardship shaped me in a very good way that I was able, at my first niche, my first company, I started as an international transition expert. I was able to guide women who landed to United States to fulfill their American dream. Although now my company and my niche, it's totally different. I'm a business strategist. Yes.
Mm. Wonderful. Yes, I could see the first career that you had when you came here would be a perfect fit for your expertise because you had been there. You had felt what these new individuals coming to the country would feel and what it might take to transition into a new culture. So and also all the resilience and the courage that it took. all of that plays into not only our life but our careers and our businesses. So I can definitely see you taking that into your future as you are today. So what was your earliest memory, say Ron, of realizing that you wanted more, not just survival but a life of purpose and impact that you have today?
When I landed to United States, we all have that image about the American dream that everything will be rosy and there will be like a red carpet in front of you and everything line up and easy life because America to a lot of people, especially in Middle East, it's the movie that we see, all the fancy life and having everything line up for you, which is the reality was different. I wanted more by seeing the reality is by me doing more work and putting the hard work. Meaning, the American dream for a lot of people are not alive, but it's still here. But it's not that easy to accomplish that we see in a lot of theories and stories that we read in book or movie. So I have that voice inside me since I was in Iraq that I need more, I need to leave an impact. I knew from day one when I graduated that me being an engineer and they call it field dominant, which I don't agree, which is construction or civil engineering. That's not it for me. I knew that I can do more, that I knew that my purpose in life or my message in life is something uh, have more impact, kind of paving the road or guiding other women to reach their best version of themselves. So for to go back to your question for how I knew that I wanted more, I had that voice on me from since I was in Middle East, but that voice got louder and louder when I arrived to United States.
Mm.
And that's what I know that the dreams will be true by working hard and putting the effort and finding the impact or the sense of belonging, what you really want to accomplish in this land in order to make it happen.
Yes, leaving a difference. And that's so important, no matter where we come from. Brendan Bouchard often says, "Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter?" And that's kind of his mantra. And it's so important that we feel that we mattered while we were here. And that's the impact that you are making. And it's interesting because every day, we think of it's not grandiose, especially here in America, because, everybody celebrates successes and, uh, you know, uh, celebrity, et cetera, et cetera. But every day we matter. Every day we make a difference just by touching people. And like here we are talking with each other. So I find that something that people need to understand as well. But I love that you felt that energy within you, or that calling from when you were very young, and you said this engineer career is not where I belong, because I've been there myself in the same situation, where I felt had a full-time career, but it was like, no, this doesn't resonate with my heart. And back in those days I didn't know why, but I get it now.
Yes.
With
Yes,
age,
and you
with
hear it. Yes,
go ahead.
with age. Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I mean, just to add to what you said, exactly. We come to conclusion when we age, especially when I say midlife women. Most of my clients they indicate the same struggle they have. That they have the
Mhm.
job, they have the house, they have the kids, financially comfortable, but they all have the same concern or struggle by saying their day job, which is pay well, does not make them feel accomplished or fulfilled. And when I asked them why, they said they don't feel the sense of belonging. They don't
Mm.
see or feel they are leaving an impact. And this is why they hire me as a business strategist because they want to have that sense of belonging by doing something meaningful. That's what I come to them and I said, okay, what do you have done in your younger, ages when you were teenage or in your 20? I know you've been in IT, I know you've been in law school, I know you've been in a medical school, but what other things that you really enjoy? What is the hobby? It was in sport, it was writing, it was speaking, it was knitting, it was cooking. What is it exactly? Because when we hit that midlife, we turn around and we see, okay, the kid's grown, now what? They're about to leave the house. Do I really need to feel sorry for myself because I hit my 50 and nothing left? That's what I come as a midlife business strategist, and I tell the clients, especially the women, no, this is actually the start. This is not the end of your story. This is actually the best chapter of your life.
Mm, I love that. And that's exactly right. Well, this is perfect segue into your leadership and strategy. So you talk about blending engineering precision with business foresight. So how does that fuse to work together and for making decisions, et cetera, et cetera? I'm really curious.
Yes, the engineering in general, just by representing yourself as an engineer, you always have to be precise and concise, especially if you
Mhm.
design, if you are in the construction, every engineering aspect, you can make mistakes because a slightly mistake, point 0.1 inch or point 0.2 inch will make a big difference in your design and it might lead to a disaster result. So that's actually trained my brain to be kind of like strategic in thinking. So I always put a map or a blueprint. So in a sense, when I do my business, I don't sell the land of dream of just a vision board or this is your destination. You're gonna solve all your problem. I cannot do that because my mind wire as an engineer. So I have to go through steps. So there's a strategy on it. There is first, there is second, there is third, there is a process, right? I cannot just selling them the dream as, oh, in 6 months your life will be perfect, or in 3 months but how, right? It's not just the vision. It's good to have a vision, or I don't even call it a vision board, I call it action board. It's great to have that, but how you are really guiding or helping your clients to accomplish that vision, how you taking them from A to B. So the clarity is very important, and you cannot be a leader yourself to others unless you become competent of what you're doing. How can I teach or guide or coach a young engineer who just landed to the United States to be a successful engineer unless I have done myself, unless I've been through the process, right? So you gotta have it yourself. You gotta be competent in order to look confidence. You can't just
Mhm.
fake it until you make it. You have to work it until you make it. Because if you fake it for a little bit, it might slip sometimes, but smart client will sense it because they will ask you question. Have you been in my shoes? Have you been through the struggle? If you said no, I just came with a lot of money and I started great, you don't know their struggle. But if you've
Mhm.
been in their struggle, you kind of know the kind of obstacle they are going through. So the mind, when my mind set up as solving equation, I feel like my business strategy is business now. Like I married the IQ with the EQ, like the IQ with
Mm.
the numbers and make the equation add up 1 plus 1. I merge it with the emotional intelligence. I'm
Yeah.
able now to understand where is the client coming from and solving their goals the same way I solve any math equation.
Right. Yes, you're absolutely right. When we have to, it has to be a melding of different aspects because in life is not as linear. It's by no means linear. And when we experience it through our family, through our past lives, through our business, through our careers, where we might work, we've got all kinds of things to deal with. So, yes, but your precision is very interesting. I wonder, is there any steps, very briefly, that you could share with our audience that you to walk people through? And, you could just title them and say, this is why. That would be great.
Yes, totally. So I would like always, as much as I want to at my side business to not keep acting like an engineer, but my engineering mindset is keep popping up. So I use a metaphor about building a house, and I tell the client, your strategy session with me, it depends, or it's go by three pillars, three main pillars. Just like any house or foundation you build, you need foundation, strong foundation, the building, and the roof. So, in your business or guiding the client, I say your foundation is the clarity. So, I equal
Mhm.
both of them, foundation equal clarity. Because without clarity, that's mean your foundation is not great, the building would collapse. So, without clarity, you cannot even start anything. Then the second things after foundation of the building, it's the building itself, is the wall, the doors, and the windows. These are the actions. These are the
Mhm.
action you do as a client towards your goal. The last thing is the roof, which is protect your whole building. And you need in the business or to make your dreams come true, you need the consistency. So you have the clarity where you want to go, you're taking action, then the consistency. Because without consistency, you do the one things one time, you're not going to achieve your goal because you've done it once and you celebrate once, but that's not a lasting result. So this is how I use the metaphor, a simple metaphor, same thing that you build a house, you can build your dreams. As a matter of fact, one of the years I attended speaking gigs, and one of the, I think, the gift that they give the people who give the speech is having a short Zoom with Jack Canfield, and he's one of the author. I really, really love his book, and that's how I was inspired by the success principle and to build my business. And I had to talk to him for I think like a 20 minutes, and I told him that I'm an engineer all my life. I build, and now I kind of like trying to find my niche or my niche, and he said it's the same. You were building like construction building, now you're building dreams. It's no
Yeah.
different, right? People come with no clear direction where you're going, you are guiding them towards building their dreams. So that's come out of
Mhm.
his mouth, which is a big compliment. And just reading his book and study the success principle, I come up with my second niche as a business strategist. Chapter 39 talk about focusing on your core genius, and that's how I come up with the idea that at your midlife, there is a time you are not too late to start finding and discovering your hidden gem. That was I was inspired by his book about
Right.
core genius. Yes,
Wonderful. Oh, yes, I love that. Building your dreams. That is so perfect. And the metaphor is absolutely it's very clear and it makes total
yes.
sense. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad I asked. Well,
Thank
what are
you.
given that then and that your focus is women, what are some of the most common mistakes that you see women make when they're navigating career transition?
Most of the common mistake I see, especially when women start thinking about pivoting in their career or just changing their expertise, they wait for so long. The waiting is
Mhm.
it's forever. It seems like they ask for permission, or I would say validation. And I was the same when I was younger. Now in my 50, I have the skill set that not to ask for permission. You see a
Mhm.
lot of women that who inspire you. They don't ask for permission. They don't wait. They don't really over analyze their steps before they take action. You see those women, they just jump. They
Right.
figure things out, right? They make it happen. You can't just
Mhm.
wait for the perfect time. We as a woman, we tend to seek that perfection is even at home. Like we need the house is clean, the kids have a become a student, the husband helping out during while you're cooking and you do the cleaning. We need everything perfect, and that's kind of difficult because you have to really start before you even ready. You
Mm.
can ever wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. That you can create the right time for yourself. For me, when I decided to start a side business, I never had business when I was in my 30 or early 40. But I realize the more I wait, I will lose the momentum.
Yeah.
That fire inside you will fade away. You want to grab that fire and start right away. And while you're going on the process, you will learn as you go. So no wait. This is the right time. Just start.
Yeah. I love that. Grab your fire now.
Yes,
You don't want it to fade away. Yes,
yes,
absolutely. Yes. It's a matter of putting the fear aside. I mean, that's usually what it boils down to. And the saying that I say, I am worthy, because a lot of
yes,
women hesitate because they don't think they're worthy. They would never admit
yes,
that, but it's it's your time to shine. You know, you
yes,
have something within you that needs to be shared with the world, and you are worthy of sharing it. So thank you for sharing that, because I do agree with you. That is tends to be because we are, in a sense, multitaskers. Women are the ultimate multitaskers because we're looking after so many different things within our lives. Once we mature and we have the family, and then we have, some of us have a career, and then we have the husband, and then we have, you know, you've got the mortgage, oh my gosh, and then it just goes on and on and on. So you are pulled in many directions, and a lot of times that creates a lot of busyness, which doesn't give you the space to say, wait a minute, what about me? I'm worthy of something more than just running
yes.
on the treadmill, right?
Yes, yes, and yeah, and we tend when we are younger, we seek that validation and approval from colleague,
Mm-hmm.
partner,
Yeah.
sibling, friends, which is fine. When you are in your 20, you're still navigating and finding your path or your real passion or real task, or let's say your vision towards the life. You're still searching around, right? But when you hit your 50, you would have a better skills and uh, history of doing things that haven't worked well, and now you're trying other things. So you don't need to wait for cheer or clap from others. People who don't take you seriously now in your business, they will be the same people who's going to seek your advice when you succeed. No one
Mm,
will listen to you in the beginning, but everyone will chase you when they hear your success story, which is sad,
mm,
because you need the support from at the beginning from the people who you trust. But not everyone has the time and effort to cheer and clap for you. If you really really sure and have intention goal to make a difference and make a change, go for it. Don't wait so much. Oh, who's on the line, who's looking at me, do I have so many likes on Instagram, did people comment on my LinkedIn post? That doesn't mean anything, because your goal should be way heavier and deeper than people
mhm,
pleasing, right? When you succeed, the same group of people who ignored you, they will be dialing your number and looking for you.
mm. Wise words from a very wise woman. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank
So,
you.
in a world moving faster than ever, how can professionals truly future proof their careers and stay ahead of the curve, because everything is changing so rapidly in the world today, and we've got, you know, the advent of AI, and we've got so many different industries that are cropping up that never existed when you and I were younger. So, is there any advice that you could give women in particular to future proof their careers, or is there even such a thing as future proofing?
Very important question, and I'm glad you asked that, because I'm in my 50s, so I graduated many years ago. And when the AI hit us with all the technology and with everything you hear, at the beginning, it's make you scared because you are
Mm,
comfortable in your old-fashioned, paper and writing blocks and saying thing in a certain way because we graduate many years ago. I see and I believe, I have a strong belief that the future belong, and the markets say that every day, The future belongs to those people who adopt the change, not scared from
Right.
the change. Because those changes, I always say to my client, they are like fast train pass you. If you
Mhm.
don't grab those changes and you don't learn from it, I'm not asking you to be a black belt in AI or black belt in technology, but at least don't be scared from it. I know
Yeah.
you graduate in the 90 or you graduate in the 80, but if you ignore or if you brush off all those technology changes, you're going to be isolated, and you will not be belong to the new movement is going on right now. And when same thing like with the phone, you remember we have those flip phone, and we were okay, like I'm okay with my flip phone, right? We don't want an iPhone, but now the phone become your computer in your purse,
Mhm.
right? As much as you hating it, as much as you avoiding it, it will still come and pop up in your face. So if I always urge women, especially midlife women, to have the ability to adapt and pivot.
Mhm.
Don't avoid the changes, because change is coming every second now. Not every
Yes.
day, is every
Mm.
second. Of the
Mhm.
blink of eyes, you open your eyes and there is a new app for everything. Now it
Mm.
seems like there is an app for everything. And
Yeah.
if you
This.
avoid those changes, right? I mean, your business will be stagnant, right? Your business
Yes.
will not leave a bigger impact if you avoid those changes, because changes are important. So we need to cope with the changes around us.
Yes. And what I often say too is that because we all have a gift, if that gift is not the, let's say, technology in this case, then don't be afraid to hand it off to someone else. As long as you have a little bit of the awareness that, wait a minute, this is really interfering with my purpose and my impact. But it's fine if I can find the means and the ways to have someone else help me in that area, because that could then leave me the space to focus on the purpose and why I'm here. Because a lot of times, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm like, but no, I need to learn this because I should know it. And it goes back to
Yes,
all the shoulds when you're young. You shouldn't do this, you should do that.
yes,
And it's like, okay, I understand the basics, but do I really want to spend hours learning how this works so that, I have to do it all myself? It's like, no, heck no. I
yes.
just like,
Totally, totally. I remember when I didn't have none of the social media. I think my LinkedIn is 2 years old and my Instagram the same. I never had any social media. I never had Facebook in my life. None of us in the family, neither me, my husband, or my kids. But when I had my mentor, he told me, he said, Sairan, this is weird. You don't have LinkedIn, you don't have Facebook, you don't have
hmm,
Instagram. I said, I don't know, maybe I should open something. He said, at least two of them. So I opened LinkedIn, which is mainly my day job. And going back and adding to what you say, that I should not know everything, I asked my daughter, and she was only like, 18, 19. I was like, can you help me? She said, Mom, that's embarrassing. You are an engineer. I said, I'm an engineer, but I don't know nothing about Instagram. You need to help me. And I think she's the one who even chose my password and my login, and she teach me how to do the at least the basic,
hmm,
just to be comfortable with the app,
right,
because you cannot have a business without the exposure, right? You want to have that, you have to show up in a platform that people listen to your message, because your voice matter. I can't be just hiding in the room writing something and expecting people will know about my impact without sharing it with the public,
right,
right? So yes, things look scary. I feel like technology, we need to adopt it and digest it in a way, the same way when we avoid problem. Would scare us. I tell my client, when you have an obstacle or blocks, if you move it away, that blocks will come back and show up in the ugliest way. You need to face it. You need to befriend it. You need to digest it. You need to learn from it. Again, I don't expect you to be as good as the person who invent the AI or made all those innovation apps around you, but at least understand the basic. Be comfortable about how to use those tools for your own benefit and for your business impact.
Yes, yes. Very good. Thank you so much for that. And Sairan, why do you believe then that midlife is the most powerful time for reinvention, especially for women?
Midlife is very important point for men and women, but I'll go with women because this is my exact niche as a business strategist. I guide women in their midlife to find their hidden talent or hidden gem and monetize it for a better impact, or to reach the best version of themselves. Because I see it myself. I'm in midlife. My kids about to finish college, and they might end up leaving the house to start their own life. I should not feel sorry for myself and calling myself, oh, this is midlife crisis or this is empty nester. They teach us in coaching school that we have to be so mindful about the word we use and tell
Yes.
ourselves. Um, that crisis, where that crisis come from? What does empty nester mean? Why it's empty? Why we use negative connotation to define our midlife gold ages? And I remember I was invited to a podcast called midlife crisis, and the two ladies were very, very nice, very wonderful, lovely ladies. And I told them, I said, I love your podcast, but I don't think midlife is crisis. It should be midlife priceless. It's like a
Mm,
woman with a trophy, because I reached my 50 not in a blink. I reached it after raising kids, being at the job force, all the skills, the book, the expertise, showing up in places that I never thought I would show up as a speaker or contributor, right? So when you reach that 50, you reach with a lot of skills and wisdom. So that should not be felt for women as the end of your story. It's not the end. As a matter of fact, it's the beginning of the best chapter, because you reach that 50 after being in a lot of process and journey, that you gain a lot of confidence and skill by reaching that midlife. And I see it on myself and my client. I did not have that skill set in speaking, or even the level of confidence when I was in my 20. I did not have that. I did not have these skills when I was in my 30. So why I should 50 should scare me? Okay, less hair, wrinkles, so what? Why we only look at the things that we label, Jane? That's the problem with women. We label ourselves with the wrong labels and connotation, negative connotation. We think that, oh, this midlife, then it's too late. It's not too late. It's the right time. And if you don't do it now, then when? There's only one midlife, there's only one 50, right? You're not going to get every 50 ability to reinvent yourself. So it's very important for women to reinvent, discover their skills, not looking at this is the time that everybody's leaving me. I'm old, my kids out of the house. Well, it's life. They have to start their own life, right? Now it's your time to have the best version of yourself.
mm. Thank you. That was beautiful and absolutely spot on. I always say it's never too late, it's never too pie in the sky to do what you love. So,
Yes.
absolutely. So, well, thank you for that information. Now, the next question I have for you is mindset shifts. What mindset shifts are non negotiable for women stepping into leadership after years of self doubt and career stagnation?
I can summarize it with three. Let's say if we just summarize it in three mindset shift. Number one is you are not too late. You are not.
Mhm.
This is the right time. Don't listen to people say you are late or you are old. No, you are not. It doesn't matter you pivot or you change your job when you are 70. If you think you are capable and you are competent and you can make a change, you are not too late. So that's the first mind shifts. The second one is your value is not tied to to past roles. What does that mean? You might think that you succeed or you achieve what you want when you become a chief engineer or you become a lawyer, whatever past roles you have. That's not your core value. That's not the max you can reach because your value is not tied to that title. You'll see a lot of women and men. I will just talk about women now. You see their LinkedIn. You should not be
Mhm.
threatened by their LinkedIn because their role or their title is so fancy and they have all these abbreviations. Some of them you can't even spell it out. You'll be like, what is this? That has nothing to do with the value. There's a lot of women who leave a great impact. And if you look at their LinkedIn or their Instagram, they have such a simple and humble title. So your value has nothing to do with the past role or your current roles. The third mind shift, I would say, fear is not your enemy. I feel like the fear is like a fuel. It might make you step back a little bit and you said, oh, let me be ready. Or maybe I need more time to do this. But that fear, you have to channel it in a way to jump even faster. Because you have to think this way okay, I'm afraid to be on the stage, right? But think about the minute when you finish your speech. Think about the outcome. Make it like an excitement rather than palpitation, saying, "Oh, my heartbeat!" Right? No, make that fear as a fuel to push you forward. So I think these are the main three mindset shifts that I use with my client.
Mm. So powerful. They are just spot on. And thank you for sharing those. Well, overcoming challenges, and you just mentioned about fear there. So, what is the toughest decision, Saran, that you have ever had to make as a leader? And what did it teach you about fear and resilience?
Yeah, I get this question a lot because they ask me, okay, an engineer and a business strategist, where does this come from? Where is the correlation and how you combine those two? I think the toughest or the biggest decision that I made is not to complete my doctoral in engineering. When I finished
Mm,
my master in 2017, I started my doctoral program right after that because I was all pumped up. I was like, yay, let's go for it. I'm smart. I'm great in math. Let's do doctoral in engineering. And while I was doing my doctoral program, first semester, I had an opportunity at the university to speak with a group of younger engineers about the real life of a younger engineer workforce, what they should expect, what are the tips and tools they need to learn before they hit their first job. And I enjoy talking with those younger engineers a lot. The head of the women in engineering reached out to me and she asked if I happened to be a coach. And me
mm,
being an engineer back then, I thought I'm smart, and it was not really a smart answer I gave. I thought she's talking about sport coach. So I
mm,
said, yeah, how you know? I was a swimming coach. She's like, I'm not talking about sport. I'm talking about if you happen to be a business or a life coach. Because I'd done engineering all my life, I didn't know much about emotional intelligence or self development in a sense being a coach. And she made me so curious. I had to make a decision,
mm,
which disappointed even my own kids because they said, "Oh, mommy's going to be a Dr. Aqrawi and finishing her doctoral," but I had to put it on a freezer and just put it aside. And I told myself, I don't think I'll be that much impactful, with all respect to the engineer who finished their doctor program. But I think my call or my impact, it's somewhere else. It's me guiding other women to fulfill their dream and reach their best version. I don't think I can do that with by teaching engineering at the university. So I made that hard decision to leave my doctoral program. I just done one semester and I start my business back then in 2018, and I reach out to ICF. I become a certified coach, ACC, and I start my first company, International Transition Expert, and the rest is history. So I feel like overcoming challenges and going back to the original question, sometimes your best version always lies on the toughest decision you made. Because if you feel
Mm.
comfortable where you are, you're staying stagnant and you're doing something that you are so comfortable doing it, but you don't see that impact unless you make a big dramatic decision in order to make a change and serve more people.
Sairan, that has so much insight into it. It really does. And it goes full circle to the women that you mentioned earlier on that are in midlife and they have very successful careers, but they come to you and they say, but there's not, something is not right. And that is because what you just mentioned, that you see, you were kind of in the same position on an educational level to complete that. And I say it was divine intervention. You were placed in that classroom for a reason. You were asked to be a guest. And that one movement, that one choice that you said, okay, I will speak to these young girls, changed your life, changed your course. Now, like we said earlier, it's never too late. So you can always go back to do your doctorate. You can always take that. But that is amazing. It's like I believe there are no coincidences. There is nothing random, and
Yes,
that was your step into your next chapter. That's how I feel,
yes,
anyway.
yes,
So thank you for sharing that story. That is really amazing. When you know, because I believe in that, and that, you know, things happen for a reason. And you were there at the right time in the right place, and that was meant to be, I believe. So you can tell your children that. So if they ever
yes,
question the decision again, it was God calling me or whatever, the universe.
yeah,
So
true.
Saran, what is one strategic tool or mental model that you wish everyone would use to make better life or career decisions?
Tools or advice. Okay. I feel like if you are thinking about anything, any decision in your life, um, if I even take the simplest decision, let's say for me, I want to lose the last 10 pound or lose 5 pound, right? I want to be more fit, not necessarily going back to the gym, just to feel better. My heart, my mental, my physique is better. Unless if I write it and have accountability partner doing it, even if it's a partner or if it's your friend or sister, if you don't write it, if you don't document it, it does not exist. Because talk is cheap. We can
Mhm.
talk about many things now. I can be in your podcast and saying, I will do this, I will do that. And after I'm done with you, I just forget about it and I don't do none of this stuff. That doesn't make me impactful person who can leave an impact. You need to write it down and not necessarily having 10 or 15 to-do lists a day, but your tool should be your pen by writing exactly what is matter the most. Meaning, you don't have to finish 10 things in a day. If you can master 2 or 3 things a day, that's a successful day. That's a successful day because we are not a machine. We can't just do things, check box, do things, check box. We need to settle down and kind of like go through the process, learn from it, and go to the next things. So I feel like the best tools that I've been doing that I write down in my journal or a piece of paper. Today, for example, I'm going to take off from my day job and I'm going to do the podcast with Jane. I'm just going to focus on the podcast. I'll be fully present. I'm not going to be 50% with Jane and 20% my mind thinking about what I'm going to do for dinner tonight, my 10% thinking about what to wear tomorrow for the event. I am 100% fully focused with Jane podcast. So write it down and be intention. Think about what is really matter. Don't tell people, oh, I had a busy weekend. What's busy weekend mean? What's busy weekend mean? I don't know what's busy weekend mean. You have to say I had a productive weekend. I done one, two, three. That's it. You don't have to be finishing 15 or 20 things. If you can accomplish three things, giving it 100% of your focus and time, that's the best tools and tips I can give to anyone who listened to this episode.
Mm, that is so valuable in this world, especially, and going forward, because many of us, and I feel it's more of the young generation, we have some wisdom with us in our favor, hopefully, but everyone's trying to either play catch up or be the super person, superman, superwoman, because things are moving faster. And like you said, we are human. We are not the machine. And because things
Yes.
are moving faster, you expect yourself to move faster, and that is such a valuable lesson to create your day with intention
Yes.
and just say, this is what I will focus on today, and let that be enough. And once you
Yes.
make that decision, then you're right. It's not the busyness that makes us who we are. It's the beingness.
Yes.
And
Totally.
yes, yeah, that's beautiful.
Totally. And some days you will have those time that you feel you had so much, and you reach the fatigue or
Mhm.
overload, and it's okay if that day you take off from everything. It's okay just to lay down beside the fireplace, right? Just lay down there and have a cup of tea, because your mind and your soul do send signal telling you slow down.
Mm.
Slow down. Don't rush to things. You are not successful because you did 78 things today. That doesn't make you successful, because I guarantee if you do that 78 things, you done 10%, 15% of each. You have not done none of them 100%. We
Mhm.
are not a Wonder Woman, right? We love to be Wonder Woman in our mind and attitude, but in
Right.
reality, we can do much, right? Especially in the midlife. I feel some days that I even tell my husband, I said, today there is no engineering, today there is no business. I'm going to take off from everything. I'm going to mute my phone. I'm going to the spa just to reinvent, to recharge my brain, because I feel that the magic happened between the silence mode. The magic happened. We even say it in coaching when we coach client. We said the magic happened between the coaching session, not at the
Mm.
coaching session.
Right.
So when I have the first session with you and I challenge you, make you think, the magic happened between those two session, first one, the second one. Brain is the same thing. You can work full time and do business, being busy, cooking, cleaning, and expecting everything it's perfect, because you haven't give 100% to each things. So sometimes, actually, most of the time, we need to slow down, digest what we're going through, enjoy the moment, and not to overthink it. Just not to overthink it.
Yes, make it a practice. It's part of
Yes.
your,
Yeah.
yes, it's part of, it's a beautiful saying that goes to the mind that is still, the universe
Yes.
surrenders. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that is something the machines aren't going to tell us to the mind
Yes.
that is
Yes.
still, right? And
Yes.
that's a gift for
Yes.
sure. Well, thank you
True.
for that. That's beautiful insight, and I love it. So, when people hear your name in 10 years, say, Ron, what impact do you hope they associate with it, and what legacy are you building right now?
I would love women will remember me by being that bold engineer who challenged them to take the next step. Because you can see I'm a bit aggressive in my session in a way. I don't sell soothing and sugar coating and oh you're beautiful, oh you're nice. I try to avoid those terms until the end. I want them to remember me for being the agent or the guide for their transformation.
Mm,
I was the one who challenged them, who told them, I dare you can do that. I am sure you can do that. So it's like the one who pushed them, because I always said that I am not the one who's going to solve your problem, but I'm the one who's going to guide you towards solving those
mhm,
problems by your own tools, not by my words or not by my own story, but challenging you that you are able to do it. Because I transformation, it's doable to each one of us. It's just we need to believe, and we need to always reminding ourselves what is really the purpose here. Why I
mm,
need that transformation so bad? Why? Just to look good in front of people? No, to make a change and an impact on the world and leaving
mm.
this world a better place that when we enter.
Yes, that's why we're all here to serve. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Sairan, what is one daily habit that you swear by that you recommend for others?
One daily habit. Yeah. Okay. Every day. Um, it's kind of difficult, but I start doing it. I think right before COVID, because I start fall in love with Stoic and Stoicism, and the daily habit that I try to teach others, and I've been doing it myself, not to reply to react to every event happen in your life. Meaning,
Mm,
if you wake up in the morning and you already decide it's going to be a great day, and you happen to be at the store buying something, and the cashier was kind of stressful or maybe a bit in the rude side, don't take it personally. Don't
mm,
have that urge and feel it's necessary to reply back to his act. Try to stay calm and collected and just let it go. Don't have your emotion react all the time. There is no need to reply and to respond to everything happen in your daily life. And the reason why I'm saying that, going back to Stoic, you want to keep your best energy to the things that matter the most. You want to
mm,
stay healthy mentally, you want to stay healthy physically. If you keep responding and reacting to every daily action happen, you by noon you are already exhausted, because everything happen in front of you, you react to it, you respond. And the best example is at work. Sometimes even in your business, sometimes you get kind of a harsh email from a client or from
mm.
another stakeholder at work, and you have that urge, let me respond, let me show them my other side of my face, and let me tell them how strong I am. But if you let it sit, if you let it go for a while, you'll be surprised by the end of the day, 99% of the time, the issue will resolve itself. The universe will find a way that prevent you to react and to respond. So my golden advice to anyone who's listening to us, there is no need to react to everything happen at your day. Take what is matter and move on.
Right. Yes. They always say we can't, we don't know or we can't control what happens to us, but how we react is a choice. Yes,
Yes,
that's our
yes,
choice.
yes.
Yes,
Yes, that's what you can control. That's exactly what you can control. If it's pouring, is raining outside, and you decided to go out with your friend, you can't be mad and frustrated because it's raining. That's you cannot control. Take an umbrella or just go inside to the restaurant. Still make it the best gathering with your friend. You can't control what's happened to the weather. Just try to
right.
make it the best. Yeah.
Exactly. Always. So, if there was one message that you would like to share with the world, Sairan, what would it be?
One message to share it with the world is you are capable to do anything you want if you are committed. Don't just dream it, put the commitment. Because if you are not committed, don't even start.
Right.
If you believe in your
Yes.
goal, just start it and pick up the momentum, and you are capable to make your dreams come true. Definitely.
Right. Set it on fire.
Yes.
Yeah, set it on fire for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you have a gift for our listeners. Tell us about that, the 15-minute call that you have and how they can get in touch with you.
Yes. So I do have a client from different level of their career. I have younger who just starting engineering. They reach out to my LinkedIn. They ask question or advices around how to build their LinkedIn in a better way, how to explore new career opportunities, and what to do, about their education or certification. So they can reach out to me in LinkedIn. And for all the people who listen to your podcast, Jane, they will get 15 minutes complimentary strategy call for their LinkedIn page. Or if they are women in their midlife, if they never work in their life, or they always been a stay home mom, or they are a full time employee and they are planning to pivot or change their career, or just finding what is hidden talent or hidden gem they have and monetize it as a side business, they will get a 15 minutes complimentary session as well, mentioning your name and your podcast in my Instagram, which is Sairan Aqrawi.
Mm. Well, thank you for that. And I hope there are many here that will take advantage of that. So, because we're here on the Epic Vision Zone, Seiran, I have one last question. If your life were an epic story, which I feel that it is, what would the title be?
Title will be The Power of Reinvention.
Mm, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, thank you again, Seiran, for joining us here today. And once again, for information and to connect with Seiran, go to the Epic Vision Zone bio pages where you will find all of her social media and direct contact information. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Jane Applegath and look me up at janeapplegath.com, where you will find all of my contact information, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Epic Vision Zone. Sending you so much love and gratitude. This is the Epic Vision Zone, the ultimate source for extraordinary transformation.